Michael, it's 10 p.m. for us, and everything works for like 8 exactly on time. It's way too easy today.
What happened?
Yeah. What happened?
What happened? Why is everything working?
What happened? How are you?
I am super. How are you doing?
I'm doing great as well. Thank you very much.
We're not wearing the same clothes today.
No, it's true. I changed. I have like my t-shirt
I was thinking
today.
about putting on a jacket
Oh, really?
and a white shirt
Okay.
just to punk those guys.
You just never do that. That would have been so
I did that
surprising
for
to
that
me.
event that time.
Which one?
Remember that big event, TMX?
Ah, true.
I put on a jacket.
True. I remember.
But I was smaller then. I tried the jacket on actually yesterday.
Okay.
It still fits.
It still fits though.
It still fits.
So you are still small then.
Okay. That's where you want to go today?
Even jacket still
It is
fits,
what it is, right?
It is what it is.
I used to buy all my jackets big, but that's a story for a different time. Okay, hello and welcome to AGTP Daily. The pitter-patter, the chit-chat is over. This is the show that goes live every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time to discuss the most important tech stories in the U.S. Today is Wednesday,
Yep.
the 15th of April, 2026. Let's get right into it. Okay, there's a lot to cover today, Martin. Anthropic launches Claude Opus 4.7, maybe?
That's a big question.
That's a big question, right?
Yep.
OpenAI ships cybersecurity model. We can get to that too. Amazon buys Globalstar, and somehow Apple comes with it.
Yep.
I like it.
Yep. That's
There's
very interesting.
Very interesting. There's a WordPress backdoor that shows that software still has vulnerabilities, particularly when somebody buys some other piece of software
That's that you trust.
and no one's paying attention. And I don't know, man. Meta's smart glasses, they're bigger than you think.
Way bigger.
Just way bigger.
than I thought. Like I saw this price drop, and I was actually let's have a look. And what I found behind that, I was not ready at all.
I wasn't expecting for that
I
either.
was not expecting that at all.
And we'll finish with some AMA, some AUA.
Yep.
We
We had a very interesting question from the community yesterday that
We
we are
did.
going to answer on
Today.
the show today. So
And you have the guy's name?
Yep. And
Great.
so if you watch it and if you have any question for us, please put that into the comment either on X or on YouTube. We look at every comment and we pick up like actually the best question and we feature them on the show. So
On
if
the
you want to know anything about AI, agentic AI, how it's used in enterprises, how it's changing the world and things like this, just ask us and we would be happy to feature.
Yeah,
your
if you're watching
questions.
the show, you see the episodes and you're thinking, I don't know about that.
Yep.
I've got a question about that. Send it to us.
Send it to us. We will feature it on
Post
the show.
it.
And insert
We'll
it.
feature you.
Perfect. Let's go to the first story.
So this is your bailiwick, man. Anthropic launches Claude Opus 4.7. You want to talk about this? Are
Yes.
they preparing to do it? Are they going to do it? Do we know they're going to do it? What's going on here?
So first of all, it's not a fact.
It's not a fact,
It's
right?
not a fact. It's a rumor.
But it's more than a rumor, right?
So it's Anthropic. It's their marketing playbook, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
exactly what
Exactly.
they do all the time. Hey, there's this theme. It's leaked somehow, and there's a guy somewhere on the internet that finds this information. But so what is exactly being discussed right now? Anthropic is preparing to launch Claude Opus 4.7.
Right, 'cause
As
it's
soon-
currently 4.6, yeah?
Yeah, it's 4.0 right
Go
now.
for it.
And you remember like 2 months ago when they launched 4.6, it was like a big thing, right? Like,
Gigantic.
it was, I mean, the model is great. Really.
Yeah.
Like, I use it every day. I did
Yep.
a lot of stuff done with 4.6. Really good. And so apparently they plan to launch Opus 4.7 this week, actually. So it's super fast. That's the time from rumor to deployment is super short.
But funny, it's okay, though, because they're the source of the rumor, aren't
So-
they? It seems like.
Yeah, I mean, they are the only one we know, right? There's nobody outside the building with a check. And, you know?
Right. There's like binoculars checking in.
So yeah, if you do like all the chain, like it's for sure somebody from Anthropic who speak too much in the bar or would leak the information on purpose, right?
So is there anything cool that's going to be here that we know about, or at least it's rumored?
So first of all, the rumor Opus 4.7, then they are also preparing some new AI design tools to create presentations, website, landing pages, and even like entire product from natural language prompt that we
Okay.
use every day in Opus.
Can we talk about that now, or do we have to wait?
Yep, please go ahead.
So the reason why I want to talk about it is because the Figma stock
Yep.
and Adobe stock
Yep.
went down on this news.
That's why I'm showing that on screen right now because that is
Exactly.
putting pressure on them.
It's putting pressure on them. Okay, again, this is not a stock market show, and I don't give investment advice. But if I look back at when Google launched particular products, every time, because Google used to be the Anthropic of search or whatever, of online stuff. And every time Google announced they were going to get into the travel business, all the travel stocks would go down, right? All the Expedias and travel.com and trip.com, they'd all go down.
Okay.
But when was the last time you booked something on Google?
I booked something on Google.
Yeah, when was the last time you booked a trip on Google?
Never.
Never. So, and in the old days, it used to be Microsoft.
Okay.
So before there was Google, there was Microsoft, and
okay.
it was just like, oh God, Microsoft is getting into business X.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're doing a startup in that business, it's going to go away, right? That didn't happen.
Yeah.
It just didn't happen because some companies are really good at certain things, and sure and look, I tried this, right? I told you I tried to build a presentation using some of these tools. It came out like what's the word I'm looking for? You know the word.
Yep.
Suboptimal.
Yep. Very suboptimal.
Anyway, so it's great that they're doing this, and sure, over time they will get much better, but Adobe's not going away.
Yeah. No. But especially Adobe. Like at Adobe, they have an entire suite of tools.
Right.
I don't think they rely a lot on existing LLMs for their AI features. I think they built
Their own,
stuff
right? But also, like
themselves.
Photoshop is related to Premiere Pro, which is related to
Exactly,
Audition.
yeah.
They all communicate with
It's
each
a
other. They're
big
built on the
ecosystem.
same code base.
It's a big ecosystem. It's enterprise tools as well. It's not cheap at all, right? Like so. No. It's definitely a different target. That if you want to rebuild the entire Adobe ecosystem, you need much more than just like a few prompts to do it, basically, right? So Figma, on the other hand, is much simpler, I think, right? It's much simpler.
So why not Canva?
So Canva could be another one, yeah.
Right, because like InDesign as well is an Adobe product.
Yeah.
Here's the big thing.
Yeah.
Is that, and I think we talked about this yesterday or the day before, Adobe's products are really robust, but also have a lot of stuff inside them that people don't need. That's why Canva and Figma were started.
Yep.
Right? So it's not that it's going to have no impact, but the idea that Adobe or Figma is going to go away, I don't know. Anyway, go ahead.
No, but so that's part of the I think that's announced actually. This is like something that they are going to do for the AI design tools. We just don't know yet for the Opus 4.7. But the reason why I wanted to bring it up today, because I have a theory.
You have a theory.
I have a theory of why, if they do, if they launch Opus 4.7 today, I'm actually thinking that it may be a quick fix, a band-aid to the huge backlash that they got on Opus 4.6, where a lot of people complain that the thinking went down.
So So I want you to dig deeper in this, right? Because I use. We do this at our company, right? You use Opus, you use Claude, you use Anthropic, I use OpenAI. And I think part of it is strategic, so we can figure out this is what this tool does, this is what that tool does. So when we talk about it, we're not, talking out of thin air. You know that stuff really well. I know what I do really well. Do you feel like Opus 4.6 is getting dumber?
Like, we talked about that a few days ago, and I don't know. It's hard to say. I would say it's a fact that things got a little bit harder to do recently.
But when you first started using it, you loved it.
Yeah, but also I was like a much less knowledgeable AI user. So maybe what I was asking was simpler. I don't have two.
But also maybe you were also more surprised, like, whoa, I can't believe it did that.
Exactly. Maybe more patient, as well as my expectations were much lower. Right. So now that maybe before I was surprised when he could write text, right now that's a given, right? And now I expect the moon from him because I believe he can do everything, and now I'm always disappointed, right? So I don't know like how much of it is like in my head, it's just something that I'm thinking. I don't have like a hard example, like a hard proof really to show. But it's true that last week it was really, really hard to get stuff done. The week before as well, and since I switched to my own orchestrator, so when I stopped using OpenFlow, when I stopped using Claude Code as well, and then I went to my own stuff. So basically, I removed all of the prompt system that
fed into it,
that fed into their system, and I would just went like to just use the pure like thing without any system prompt. Now it got back to much better.
So can I ask you this? So what does it say about the orchestration layer as well?
Yeah.
Because you want to talk about the tokens?
Yeah. So let's talk about that at the end when we do the AMA, because this is like part of the part of the decision.
Okay.
But my point is, in case they launch 4.7 right now with no marketing campaign, with no announcements, to me it really feels like a fix. Like they never admitted.
So it's not even like a point. It's not even like a what do they call it? It's not a point release. It's just like an.
It's like,
can I swear on this show?
Like,
I don't even know if I can.
There's a problem.
It's like,
and they never say, and they don't want to say, yes, it's true. Sorry. They say we have a new model.
We have a new model.
And you will see in case my theory is right. You will see next week everybody 4.7 is amazing. The thinking is great. Like use that. It's also like if I'm right, they are going to release it at the same price as 4.6. There is not going.
But they're not going to increase the price regardless.
No. So they may, right? Because like Opus is like. Opus is 2.5 times more expensive than GPT codecs. It's really expensive. Like it's really, really like much more expensive than the others. But if they do it so fast, to me, it really feels like it fits.
When did 4.6 come out, though?
Sorry?
When did 4.6 come out?
It's like 2 months ago.
It was really recently.
February.
Yeah, because I remember all the hoopla.
And they did like a big campaign. Like
I
it was like a really big announcement. So that's why, in case that happened so fast, to me, it's like they admit that something was wrong with 4.6. They don't want to tell us what. But as users, it means that sometimes there's stuff happening, under the hood, that if we feel like it's wrong, it may be true, actually. It may be true. So, yep. So that's just something to keep in mind in case they launch 4.7 so fast. I think they're gonna admit that there was a problem somewhere. So either, then we're gonna have a lot of theories, right, to explain why they were a problem. To me, like the most plausible one when we see like the timeline of the recent events, like the last few weeks, is probably they realized that 4.6 was consuming too much energy.
Yep.
So they had to just like throttle it.
Yeah.
And then they optimized it, and now that's 4.7. That is just like a more optimized, more energy efficient version of 4.6.
So I just want to add in a little bit of something, if you don't mind. I was just looking it up just to make sure that I had this right. You said there was a big hoopla around the launch of 4.6, a big marketing campaign or whatever. In 1995, when Windows 95 launched, Microsoft paid the Rolling Stones somewhere between $8 and $14 million for their song "Start Me Up."
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
To play during the launch of this thing. Start me up. Anyway, the hoopla is different today than it was back then.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
So that's true. That's true.
It was super cool.
But so that's why. Let's see if they actually do it or not.
happens.
But I think to me, if they do, it will tell us a lot about what's happening. The cool thing is, in case they do, and all of my assumptions are right, the cool thing is that at the end of the day, they fix the problem really fast.
And aren't we still satisfied that Anthropic is way better on the marketing side and on communication, which is weird, right? Because of the whole TBPN thing.
Mm-hmm.
Did I go there again? But because of that whole TBPN thing, it's just weird that Anthropic seems to be way better at marketing and comms.
Way better. So I would prefer a little bit more transparency.
Agreed.
Right? Like in case there is
Agreed,
a problem, I would prefer them to say, well, look guys, it's true there is a problem, but like wait a bit, in 2 weeks we release 4.7, right?
Yeah.
I would love that. Maybe they will say it. Maybe when they announce 4.7, they're gonna say, "Hey, look, guys, we had an issue with 4.6. Now that's the update, right? Let's see how it goes."
Right.
But if there's a problem, I would love some transparency because we need to see, like how do we plan for our business, especially like when we drive a business, when we have decision to take, we need to have some visibility about what's gonna happen next.
Sure.
Right? And the lack of visibility, the lack of information is really hard to deal with, right? When there was at the same time OpenClaw that stopped working with the Anthropic subscription, plus Opus that gets more
slower or
more stupid.
Yeah.
Then you're like, what do I do? Kind of like the only option you have is that do I try GPT codecs, but then I need to change my entire stack. So this is where information helps, right? If you know you have a 2 weeks gap to bridge, you can take different days.
Is there some concern in the market? And when I say in the market, I don't mean in the stock market, but in the group of people, in the cohort of people that are using Opus 4.6, particularly on the Claude Code side, that 4.7 is going to launch, it's going to be great, and that it is also going to get stupid, that somehow in the design of these models that there's a leakage, that over time it says, no, I'm super good, but maybe I'm not so good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's like a theory that you said last week as well, right? Like you mentioned that. It would be interesting
to see if that happens, right?
Yeah, if it's true, like if the model itself can have some flaws, right? And then like just like start being,
because they didn't rewrite 4.7 from scratch.
Yeah, probably not.
Right,
That's why it's 4.7 and not 5, right?
Yeah,
I think, and once again, if they launch it so quick, it feels like a fix to me, right?
It feels like a bug fix. It feels like a bug fix in a way.
A fix to what, right? Is it like a problem in power? Is it a problem because the model has some flaws?
Can we do a little bit more on this?
Yep.
Do you mind? So I think we reported this, but 60% of the code that gets written for Claude Code is written by Claude itself.
Yep.
And there are also tools that, one of the big things that they talk about, that they brag about, not just Anthropic, but Codex as well, is that software testing is also way better through artificial intelligence. So if there are flaws inside here, essentially what they're telling you is whatever testing mechanism they're using that they've built with their own tools isn't working that well.
No, it's true. I mean, I think we didn't know that since day one. ChatGPT on day one was really, really flawed everywhere, right?
Everywhere, but again, they built
like-
built on top of it.
Yes, then they built on top of that, and then they did stuff. They did stuff from there, right? But yeah, let's see how it goes. If you have any insight on your side, or if you have any question, like you can let us know what you think as well.
Yeah, please.
But yeah, I feel like let's see how they announce it if they do, right? Let's see like what they say on that. As gonna be an interesting learning for us as users to prepare next time we have a problem, but also like in case this is true, right? Everything that we've just said right now, it would show that the huge backlash, that the users created on the internet may have worked actually, right? So that would be another example of the community forcing the company to do something about it as soon as possible.
Well, so
right?
this is the new
So
thing, right?
that's
These feedback
good.
loops are really fast.
No, it's super fast.
And because there's so many people using it, and they're using it to be more productive and to be better. If it slows down,
well, it's important now. It's really important.
really important. And again, there's this huge competition between Anthropic and between OpenAI.
Yeah.
And the guys at OpenAI are going like, look, 4.6 slowing down. Codex doesn't slow down.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
So that's exactly what happened when Anthropic slowed down a lot during March, I think, or early April. There were like so much outages and like all of that. It was really annoying. And yeah, and on Codex it was just working fine, right? So
sorry.
Tell me.
I have to wait until the end. It's the same topic you said. Don't talk about now.
Oh, okay,
we'll do it at the end.
Okay, so then that was like for the maybe big news, right? But then there's more to the Anthropic story. Okay.
Go ahead.
So let's go to the next thing. What is more? They have Anthropic also announces that they are launching routines. Do you pronounce it this way, Michael? Routines?
Yep, routines.
So right now it's in research preview, but basically the idea here is that you configure a routine once with a prompt or a repo, or you connect it to something, you have some sort of trigger, and then the entire routine just happen.
How's this any different from a cron job?
So yeah, I think that's a very nicely packaged and easy to understand way for a cron job.
Right, so it's a cron that runs an agent.
Yeah, so you have a cron, and then your cron is actually going to trigger something. So that's this something.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the very nicely packaged, easy to understand.
Do you know the derivation of the word? You know where cron comes from, right?
No, tell me.
Well, think about it. Chronological means in time order. So it's just short for. So a cron job is something that runs at a specific time, and cron is like probably some Latin root for the word.
Perfect.
Time.
We learn something every day.
We learn nothing every day. You learn something every day. Go ahead.
So they launch these products, okay, and also.
But the routines run on their infrastructure.
Also, like, run on their infrastructure, which is cool because you don't need your own servers, you don't need to host it. I don't know how that can work if that triggers something that needs to happen
on your machine,
locally on your machine.
Yeah.
So but
you would know that if you.
A lot of people use Cloud to code actually on their machine. So
yeah, fair enough.
I don't know how that works, but there's another announcement from Anthropic, which is they have redesigned Cloud Code on desktop.
Yeah, why is this a big deal?
So it's actually a huge deal.
Do you use it on your desktop?
Yes.
Like, how else would you use it?
Yeah,
but they redesigned it.
No, because before you had to use the terminal windows. So basically, Cloud sits into your terminal through CLI.
Yep,
okay,
I got it.
And so you have to use like the terminal. So that's really like a nerds, like developer type of access.
I've been in the terminal.
Yep. And so if you never use Cloud through the terminal, this is exactly the goal of the Cloud app. Okay?
I told you I used to be a Unix sysadmin.
Yep.
So I get the terminal.
So then they build the Cloud app on top of that. But some people, they are very heavy users, and so they want to have 5 different windows. But on Cloud, you can't do that. You have just one.
Really?
It's like a chat GPT window where you have all the chats and you have to just go through them, That's the same thing. So now,
they're building like their own windowing system.
So then, for people who have 10 terminal windows because they have 10 different agents doing 10 different things,
whatever, yeah,
you had to still use the terminal. So now they said we are just going to put all of this window inside Cloud Code directly inside the app. So that's
is it funny that they didn't think about that when they first released it?
It's like power users, right? Like power users.
You would think there were power users inside of Anthropic, but anyway.
They
released that, yeah?
So they released it, and I think definitely...
You have that displayed on screen, yeah?
Yes.
It looks like an old version of like Mac OS.
But this is probably something, that the developers at Anthropic wanted themselves, right?
For sure, because they're building all this stuff.
And you couldn't use Cloud Code at scale because of the lack of windowing. So you had to go through the CLI to open like multiple windows at the same time. Now you can actually do it through the app.
CLI, for people that may not know what it means, is a command line interface,
Yeah.
which is what that little thing is after the greater than sign on the terminal. That's where you type stuff into the command line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the reason why I wanted to mention all of that is because lately Anthropic has just been shipping like crazy. Like every week there is 2 or 3 new features that they are announcing.
Yep.
And it's been like a month like this. Like we had Mythos last week plus the
But
leak.
Mythos is not released, right? Well, it's kind of given to like 50.
It's like
It's semi-released because it's
Anthropic,
too
right?
dangerous.
Yeah, it's too dangerous.
Much too dangerous to be released.
But then they had like the leak on Mythos like 2 weeks before that. So it's been like 4 weeks now that we know about Mythos.
Like I said, they're just so good at this marketing thing.
They launched Claude Cohort. They do like all the updates that we have just announced today. They
Yep.
announced the Broadcom deal as well when they announced as
Yep.
well like the $30 billion run rate. Like every week there's 3 or 4 news for Anthropic. So it's never like, I mean, there's some major news like in Mythos or the Broadcom deal, right? But they also like keep the community engaged with all of these little updates here and there, right? Like the communication is really, really, really good. Like they just stay on top of the conversation constantly, whether it's good or bad, because of the backlash, for example, on 4.6, but now they may launch 4.7. Always a good reason to talk about Anthropic. They really control the narrative so nicely.
They do.
It's very impressive. It's very impressive.
They
yeah.
really, really do.
And plus, like the crazy thing is that most of the time they don't talk about themselves. They just leak stuff, or
But they are talking about themselves. They're just leaking it.
Yeah, they're
quietly
leaking
just
it,
whispering
yeah.
into somebody's ear.
Yeah.
A little birdie told me
Yeah,
that 4.7 is coming out.
Yes, so they have a really good strategy to get people to talk about, to do the talking for them, and they just feed the information where they have to.
Yeah.
They must have like a very nice monitoring system, so just to know like where the decision is, like how much exposure each information is bringing them. They must have a very nice tools to monitor internet sentiment at scale.
This is interesting to me, though. I keep looking at this Claude Code on the desktop, and it does seem to me kind of quaint.
Okay.
Right, because again, I remember when Windows came out.
Yeah.
And it did seem like a revelation in a way.
Yeah.
But it's funny, and look, Mac OS always had Windows, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that wasn't a big revelation itself. But it's just funny that like they wouldn't think about having multiple ways to look at this when they first release it, right? Because it seems like that should be a feature that comes like when you first get this thing, particularly if you're a power coder and you want to see like, what is this thing doing? What is that thing doing? What's the status of this? What's the status of that? Remember, we talked about this a couple of days ago, and I told you at first Windows was just a wrapper on top of DOS.
Yeah.
And it had a few different wrappers on it. The way it used memory, it made it harder to use it than when they finally made Windows Unix based, and then everything they removed the DOS part at some point, right?
Yeah.
So it's just interesting to me that they waited to do this, that it wasn't part of the original feature set.
Yep. It should be calculated as well, huh?
It could be.
Because like look at how they.
But does Codex already do this or no?
I don't think so.
Right.
They are way ahead. I mean, they were late at the party in January.
In general, right? To just build the Codex thing.
In
January. No, I know.
Anthropic was late to the party in January, but as soon as OpenClaw launched, they launched Cloud App, Cowork, and all of these things are since OpenClaw.
Wow.
Like they accelerated like crazy.
Their
but
tech team must be amazing.
Like really, like they really accelerated so much. Maybe that's also part of the massive fundraise that they had recently. Maybe
$30 billion.
They hired like ton of people. Like I don't know what they did, but since OpenClaw really, like all of a sudden, like Anthropic basically I don't think they had anything close to OpenClaw in January, and now they have a product that can compete with it.
They have their own orchestration
like,
layer.
super fast. So that's why I think here. And Anthropic is really launching a lot of new stuff, super nice growth, right? Like as we talked about yesterday and the previous days. And so all of that segued nicely into a story from Bloomberg that Anthropic attracts investor offers at a $800 billion valuation.
So does that number 800 billion sound familiar to you?
So it's really close. It's
Really close to 852 billion
that was the last round of OpenAI.
of OpenAI,
Right. When
which
they
people
raised-
were moaning about yesterday. We talked about this yesterday, where
Yep.
like the whole market now is just going like, why is this company so valuable
Yeah.
when you can't do this, you can't do that, and this is not working, right?
So it's actually interesting because the narration until this Bloomberg article was, and like OpenAI may be so much overvalued because Anthropic has pretty much the same revenue, but is only worth 300.
Right.
And now what Bloomberg tells us is like, no, that's not that. It's Anthropic now is going to be valued 800 billion.
Right.
So instead of taking OpenAI down, we are going to put Anthropic up, basically, right?
So don't be so sure they're not
So-
going to take OpenAI down.
Yeah.
I think what's happening here is the market is repricing. This is a classic way
For
to
sure.
operate in the equity markets, right? It's that all the investors were looking at OpenAI. It seemed like it was the only option, right? And they were Anthropic always seemed to be like in second place when it came to capital raising, not in the business building and stuff like that, but in the capital raising, because they always were chasing OpenAI because they had all the juice at the beginning. Right? Remember, we talked about this. They were the face of artificial intelligence.
For multiple years.
And if you ask, we say this, like if you asked your mom, what's the biggest AI company, she would probably say, I mean, is there another one besides OpenAI? If she knew any of it, right? But now, like I would bet that everybody's heard of Sam Altman. Any idea what the name of the guy who runs Anthropic is?
I think it's way less known, no?
Yeah, way less known. Seriously.
Way less known.
I bet you couldn't say his name or spell his name.
For sure. Like many people, I think, just can do it for sure.
Dario Amodei.
Yep, exactly.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, we know because we're in that bubble.
Yeah.
But, like, nobody else knows that.
No.
Right? And that's part of the problem with the valuation, because the evaluation is, it's also based on this idea of, like, what are your future earnings going to be?
Yeah.
And don't be shocked. We talked about this. If all the Sam Altman stuff keeps going on, if all of the confusion inside, if all of the is this company like really well managed or poorly managed stuff keeps going on, again, look what happened to WeWork. It went from a $9 billion valuation or whatever it was
to like bankrupt.
100 million.
So what's interesting with WeWork is that they still have WeWork everywhere. So they found a way to keep the business going. Somehow.
Yeah, but not in Thailand. Maybe there's one over there, right?
Yeah, they have one there. Like
but the one over at TDPK shut down.
Like they fired the founder and CEO, right? And they brought in somebody else.
Yeah. But the point is that like just because the thing has a gigantic valuation and just because it's the first mover doesn't mean it has to be there forever.
No, for sure. So here, Anthropic has received multiple investor offers for a new funding round. My God. The last one was in February 2026, 2 months ago.
Yeah.
At a valuation of 350 billion.
Because people don't want to be left out to like.
And they raised the 30 billion at this time, shortly after OpenAI announced a 122 billion funding round at a $852 billion valuation, right? And it feels to me also like, the investors were like, we want to raise the next round at the highest price possible because that's also their return, no?
No.
The investors in Anthropic, no?
No, here's what happens.
Okay, tell me.
Here's what happens. Again, in the United States, it's a little bit of a duopoly. Like, who else is competing with Anthropic and with OpenAI?
Yeah.
There's nobody, because you can't invest in Microsoft's AI business. You can't invest in Gemini.
Yeah.
Apple doesn't have one. Amazon doesn't have one you can invest in. So what do? You have to pick one. So some of the people that were either waiting on the sidelines, right, or had already invested in OpenAI, said maybe we picked the wrong winner, but we still have plenty of money to invest in artificial intelligence. Let's call those guys quietly at Anthropic and see, like, can we get in? Because they're at a $350 billion valuation, and OpenAI is already at 852. And here's what happened. They called the guys at Anthropic and they're like, let us get our bankers on the phone. And the bankers were on like, what do you want to do? And like, we want to give you another $50 billion or $60 billion. And they're like, you're done at 800. And they were like, okay. Okay.
This is
because again, it's directional.
Yeah.
Right?
But it makes complete sense, right? And I think you're completely right. But when you
because now they're nervous.
They're super nervous.
Now they're nervous.
So there's like a big FOMO, basically, right?
Yeah, because how many people you think called?
Yeah, tons.
4? It's from 400.
For sure, maybe tons. But and plus, all the people who are scared about their own investment into OpenAI, right? So that's another set of investors who want to do something about it, right?
It's a hedge.
Yep. That's exactly an edge. And
Anyway.
there's a lot of them, right? Like there's a lot of investors we see that have invested in both, right?
Oh, for sure.
There's a lot of them.
Like NVIDIA has a vested interest in making sure neither one of these companies fail.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So they could be doing a little bit of this kind of investing, a little bit of that kind of investing.
Yeah.
I don't know where these rumors came from, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it says multiple investor offers for a new funding round that could value the company $800 billion. So this is a price taker's market.
Yeah.
Meaning that the investors are taking a price. They're not giving a price.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And their desperation to get in is probably what's leading the valuation to go higher. Because Anthropic can easily say, you're not the only ones at dinner.
Yeah.
We got a few other people waiting outside.
But so what do you do in this type of markets? It changes the game entirely, right? Like,
What do you do with what? The money?
No.
Or the
more
valuation?
Like how do you manage that? Because all of a sudden money is not an issue anymore. So do you push way as big as you can, but then what about dilution? And all of it is completely different now. It's a whole different story.
So it depends what the cap table looks like,
Mm-hmm.
right? But also depends what the rules are
Yeah.
inside of the cap table. You want to have as little dilution as possible, and the higher the price, the less dilution, right?
True. Yeah,
Because if the valuation is 800, it's different than if it's 400 because you're buying a smaller amount
Yeah.
of the company
Yep.
at a higher price.
Yes.
Right.
but okay. But so let's see. Also, maybe Anthropic is going to raise another round.
What if they raise like $92 billion?
Yeah, just put like 122, just like OpenAI.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, like OpenAI has been saying a lot that Anthropic lacks power, right? Like they don't have enough compute to actually be able to serve all the demand that they have, and OpenAI has more compute.
Well, so OpenAI is giving them basically just going like, these guys are weak
Yeah.
because they haven't arranged for enough compute power
Yeah.
and they haven't
Yeah.
arranged for enough data center stuff and all this other stuff, right?
And it may be true. They had a lot of outages on the Anthropic models in the last months.
For sure.
And when you see the growth that they had in the last months, I mean, yeah, if you have outage and more clients, then it means you probably don't have enough compute to serve everybody, right?
Right.
So maybe Anthropic is like, yes, we don't have enough compute, and we are going to fix it.
So, but there are two things. There are a few things to say about this. One is Kimi,
yeah,
DeepSeek,
yeah,
and Agnes.
mm-hmm.
Okay, Kimi, DeepSeek, both inside of China. Agnes in Singapore, run by a Chinese guy. They just raised what, $20-30 million bucks, and I told you we had him on ATP
yeah,
Insights,
yeah,
and
yeah.
his commentary to me was, "You don't need $30 billion to do this.
Yeah.
You definitely don't need 122.
Yeah.
Their models are really inefficient." Anyway.
Yeah, so that's true. Like when you have that amount of money, you don't really need to be super efficient. Right?
No, you
Like
don't. That's a problem, though.
And like right now, I don't think they are in the phase of trying to be efficient. Or
If someone gave you $122 billion, how many cars would you have?
like,
And motorcycles, you know what I mean?
yeah, like right now they're in the phase of growth. They just want to get as much market share as they can,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
And plus, like because the resources are scarce, right? Like
Yep.
data centers, chips, like compute. So it makes sense to actually try to secure as much of that as possible,
But,
right?
but does it though really? Because think about this. Every year the chips get better, the data centers get
so-
more efficient and all this other stuff. So like, don't you want to have like just enough for today, but order enough going forward so that when NVIDIA comes out with their, the Rubin chips, that you're in line to get those, and then you have the next generation, in a way that's like considered?
For sure, this is a balance. This is the balance you have to find. But I think here, what also makes them, overspend, and actually I remember like a quote from Mark Zuckerberg, like I don't know, 6 months ago maybe.
6 months ago, so recently.
He said something crazy. That sounded to me crazy, but now that we see the
Right, now you see
development of the story,
Tell me, what
it actually
was it?
feels much less crazy. It was like, it was like about maybe the acquisition of Manus for $2 billion, right?
That wasn't that long ago.
So it was like in December, right? Like
Something like
in
that.
December, so like 4 months ago. And I think it was just after that, or they had just bought something also for so much money, crazy price. And basically, Mark Zuckerberg said, "Yes, we are spending a lot of money into AI."
December 2025.
Because we got like to build things, we got to be the number one. And if we are spending if we are misspending a couple hundred of billions on the way, that's fine. I was like, a couple hundreds of billions of misspend.
If we misspend a couple $100 billion, that's
fine.
okay.
That's okay. He just said that like I was like, okay, this is like the game that they are playing, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's just what happens here. We are all in this idea of like we just need to be first. We just I mean, the potential revenue.
There are no
5 years,
capital restraints out there, Martin.
Yeah,
they're just not.
There's no for them, right?
No.
Because the potential gain in 5 or 10 years is so huge, is so big that it's actually going to compensate a couple of hundred of millions of dollars.
And again, who was making this point? I can't remember, but they were saying like all of the fiber and all of the stuff that got built during the first .com boom. That fiber is being used today. It's just that the companies that put it in the ground went bankrupt. Because they couldn't figure out a way how to monetize it properly. But we still get the benefit of it. So it's the same thing. They're going to build all this stuff. Even if they go bankrupt doing it, it's still going to be there.
Yes.
And I think that's part of the point that he's making is that like we don't know if it's going to work or not, but we still have to spend the money to put it in the ground.
And then if you have like a 10 years or 20 years view, a lot of things become successful with a much
well, sure, because there's a time value of money as well.
Exactly. So that's why if you see long term, I mean, if you're going to make $10 trillion in the next 30 years, and you have to lose 300 billion
along the way
to get there. Makes sense, right? So
but also, like, what's worth more, $1 today or $1 in a year and a half?
Yep.
Right. So it's just like
there's that part as well, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So great. I think we shared all the important information about the Anthropic news.
Let's talk about OpenAI.
Let's talk now about OpenAI.
It seems like there's like a ping pong match going on here.
There's definitely
Anthropic hits the ball over there, and OpenAI hits it back. It hits Sam Altman in the face. Like you don't know what's going on.
As long as it's a ping pong
ball. I said ping pong ball.
Everybody's happy.
Everybody's happy.
Everybody's happy. But here, big news as well from OpenAI. So this is something that they have launched. Okay, so this is like an official news. OpenAI announced GPT 5.4 Cyber.
Which is separate from their main model?
Yes. So it's still GPT 5.4, but
it's a carve-out.
Fine-tuned variant of GPT 5.4 designed exclusively for defensive cybersecurity work.
Right.
Okay. So they describe it as cyber permissive with a fewer capability restriction than the standard GPT 5.4 to reduce friction for legitimate security tasks.
Okay.
So the interesting thing here is that Mythos was announced 2 weeks ago, right? And so it really feels like we get to do something.
That's why I said it's like ping pong. It's a little bit of back and forth, right?
So that's definitely like this ping pong thing, right? But here, OpenAI did the same thing, but differently. Same thing is the sense of they said, hey, the access is limited and only verified users on the highest plans of ChatGPT or on the enterprise plans can access it. So it's not for everybody.
Right.
But it's still for a lot of people.
But it's not the same kind of restriction that they put on Mythos, right?
No. So they still do like, okay, it's a little bit restricted, but we still give it to everybody.
But do you think they did a little bit of the restriction just to kind of say that it's like really important? Do you know what I mean? To mirror what they're doing over at...
I think they're just copy what Anthropic is doing. Like it's all a reactive move. Like everything that they are doing right now feels like a reactive move.
It does.
Or maybe it's just bad timeline. They just planned all the announcement a week after Anthropic and one after one. But
don't they have any like moles inside of Anthropic? Any people that like that cousin works over there so they can find out what's going on before it gets announced? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have no idea. I
don't know either.
So they basically launched this model. There's not a lot of information about it at this moment, but we are talking right now. It's not like Mythos that had so much coverage, so much articles, so much videos. Everybody was talking about it. We have very little information about.
But is this a carve out of the main model, or is it just a finely tuned thing of the main model? Because remember, we talked a lot yesterday about are we going to have these smaller models that do specific tasks? Because I think in this case, this is a good example of where if you just had a targeted model or a smaller model that doesn't know everything about this thing, that thing, and the other thing, but just knows how to do cyber defense and can learn stuff along the way, that it could be way faster, way more effective, way more efficient. So it'd be interesting to find out when this thing comes out or when we get more information on it. Do you know what I mean?
For sure. So let's see, right? Let's see. They say it's a fine-tuned model.
Right.
So I'm not sure what fine-tune means exactly.
Right.
Does it mean you remove stuff and you put overs, or does it mean you make one part stronger but you keep the rest? Right?
Keep the rest of it, yeah.
Like what does it exactly mean from a model development perspective? But to me here, what it feels like is they're trying to undercut Anthropic.
Undermine them in what way? And by saying like we're actually releasing a model.
Yes, and because you can't access Mythos, come here, basically. And so they're trying to launch something before the launch, but after the launch. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're trying to launch something after the announcement, but before the real launch, to try to get the users who want something better for cyber, but who can't access Mythos.
So it's weird. Again, it's weird that they would name this thing Mythos. Like I understand what they're trying to do, but like another definition of mythos or mythical is like fictional, which means like not real.
Oh wow, okay.
I'm just saying.
But the naming at Anthropic has been weird. Like we talked about that last time. Like Mythos means liar in French.
Yeah, exactly. Claude is like your grandfather.
Claude is my grandfather name.
Is it really your grandfather's name?
So it's not, but
okay, but it's a typical grandfather's name.
Oh yeah. They definitely. It's a very typical and like very spread out, right? Like it's a Claude is something absolutely normal
that everybody knows.
That everybody knows.
Everybody knows your grandpa.
Everybody has one or two Claude into his family,
right?
Like
and they're all 75.
Everyone. So that's all like Claude, Mythos, like it starts to be like a lot of weird things, like also like routine. That's a French word, right? So I don't know. Maybe they have somebody who's French who picked up the name, but
it does feel like they're trying to undercut each other.
It looks like they're trying to undercut it, right? Like
Yeah.
they're trying to after the announcement launch something that you can access right now, but you can see that they don't do it as well from a marketing standpoint in the communication.
No, it feels
standpoint.
clunky to me. It's weird in a way. And remember, we talked about one of the things we noted, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, was that 80% of, I want to get this number right, I'm just trying to remember, 80% of Anthropic's revenue comes from enterprise.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a big number.
Yeah.
But in fact, in the market itself, 35% of that revenue is actually OpenAI's, and 30%. We talked about the directionality of it, but still, it's just interesting, right?
Yes. No, super interesting. So to me, it feels like, they're trying to undercut. So let's see, once again, how that goes. But that's something new that is now on the market. And once again, if you have any question or if you want to know more about it, feel free to let us know.
Please let us know.
The comments. Okay, let's go to our next big news, Michael.
So next big news, this is interesting. I feel like everybody wants to be in the satellite business. And there are a lot of constraints here as well. And I think one of the things that Amazon is doing here, Amazon bought Globalstar. And it wasn't an easy thing to purchase because Apple comes with it.
Yeah.
And maybe we can talk about some of the details around that and then talk about some of the, what's the word I'm looking for? The roadblocks in actually putting new satellites up in the sky and why Amazon would actually make this purchase.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Amazon acquired Globalstar for $11.57 billion.
Feels cheap.
It's very precise.
Feels very cheap, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Seriously, all joking aside.
Compared to everything, like what was the last raise of StarCloud? 1 billion, 1.5, 2 billion?
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that, right?
Yeah, no, it was a new unicorn, so it's 1 point something billion dollars. This is a company that has nothing functional in the sky.
And since startup, right, 2 years old, right? Or 4
something
years
like
old.
that, but nothing functional.
No.
It's not like they're running a 25 satellites right now.
Globalstar, they have 24 satellites today.
Yep.
They have 48 more planned. They have been here for 30 years. They have 24 global ground station gateways. So I guess that means like that's
where the stuff comes down to.
That's where stuff comes down.
Yep.
They've been doing that for 30 years. So
30 years.
Huge experience. It's a very big company. I mean, it's a company that knows what they are doing. And as you said, the interesting fact about this story is that Apple invested $1.5 billion in them in 2024.
Right, 2 years
which
ago.
We didn't really see. Like you
never talked about it.
Yeah, we
didn't know it.
We follow Apple all the time. It's like one of the most like talked about company in the world.
Yeah.
And I've never seen that.
Apple operates under a microscope.
Yeah.
And nobody saw this.
We never saw that. So they had 20% equity in this company. It's not clear if we still have it or if Amazon...
Okay, but let's do the math. They invested $1 billion in it. They had 20% equity in it. That's a $5 billion valuation. And Amazon just paid almost $11.5 billion for it.
Yeah.
So Apple actually made some money on this transaction, which is weird. But anyway.
Yep. But also the interesting thing is that Apple is using 85% of Globalstar network capacity.
So what does that say, though, about Globalstar's business?
So it's like Apple is like the main client by far.
So who are their other customers? So it's a rhetorical question. I don't know the answer, but it's just like, did they build it for Apple? Is that why Apple gave them the money? Is this like when Apple wanted to make the glass for the watches so that they invested in that
maybe
that company?
Yes, maybe that's happened.
And they took all the capacity?
Yeah. But it's interesting that they only own 20%, where they are actually doing 85% of the business. Right? Like it looks like, okay, we just give you a little bit so you listen to us, but then we are actually going to run basically your entire business, right? So for example, I've made a quick list of like the feature of Apple that we enjoy every day and that run on Globalstar. So for example, the messages via satellite, you know, like they have some messages that you can send, like all the emergency stuff, like, you know, like all the things that when you have the watch and when you have a car accident or stuff like that all run through the Globalstar network of satellites. The Find My as well, you know, that we've used a lot
the Find
recently.
It's not working for us.
Didn't help us
for one of our devices.
Yep.
We know it's gone.
Yes, we know it's gone.
We know who took it, actually. We just don't know where it is.
Yes, maybe we will tell you the story one day. But so
offline,
that runs on the Globalstar network.
That's interesting.
Okay, and so when Amazon purchased it, of course, but Apple came with it because they use like 85% of the network, and Apple has actually planned to do more stuff. They want to do like Apple Map via satellite. They want to do photo messaging, indoor connectivity, satellite over 5G, and third-party app as well, API support through the satellite network.
Right, and so they operate in how many countries?
So this is actually the interesting part, but we didn't talk about yet. Why Amazon buy Globalstar, right?
Yeah, so you give your reasons and I'll give mine.
Yeah. So what they say, right? Like what is the...
What was the announcement say?
What's the announcement say? It's Amazon, they want to beam internet directly to your phone without a cell tower. To do that legally, you need government spectrum licenses, and there is a finite number of them.
And they're heavily regulated.
Nearly impossible to get from scratch. Globalstars have licenses like this in 120 countries.
Right, so getting 120 licenses across the board is just going to take a lifetime. Well, it's taken them 30 years. Like we don't know when they got their last license, but they've been in business for 30 years. So they've accumulated licenses in 120 countries in 30 years.
And so that's why
Amazon doesn't have 30 years to wait.
Yeah, that's true. And so that's why Amazon is buying them. It's going to merge with their Leo satellites, right? Like they already have... I have the number somewhere. So Globalstar has 24 satellites today. Amazon Leo has 249. So it's 241
in the sky.
In the sky, and so they are going to merge that together, and they target 3,000 satellites in the sky. Right. So
we did a whole episode on Amazon Leo. I don't know, a couple of months ago.
Yep. And so I wanted to compare that to Starlink, because Starlink already has 10,000 satellites. So it's like much smaller.
Yeah.
But also, Elon Musk announced that they want how many satellites?
1 million.
1 million.
1 million. There's going to be traffic in space.
Traffic in space.
So you think about space as this really big place, right?
Yeah.
And it is. It's almost infinite.
Yeah.
But where these satellites operate, do you know what LEO stands for, yeah?
Oh, what did it know?
Low Earth orbit.
Yeah, low Earth orbit, yep.
So low Earth orbit, obviously plenty of space up there, but not as much space as there is in all of space. So it's going to get crowded up there.
It's going to get very crowded.
Really crowded.
Also, like, so that's the move. I think that's interesting that they are trying to shortcut basically the cell tower, and they are trying, to just like bring you internet directly from the sky. It looks like they want to do something similar to Starlink,
for sure,
right? Like they want to provide like an offer like this, which is working really, really well, right? Like as a product, as an offer, as a business, it works really well. So maybe that's the move here, right?
There are a couple of other reasons why they would want to do this, though. Not just for those existing satellites.
Go ahead.
There are constraints around, actually, there are not enough rockets to put new satellites up. And remember as well, what sits inside of a satellite? Chips, all this other kind of stuff, right? And there are constraints all across the tech market.
Yeah.
And not just because of what's going on in the Straits of Hormuz, just because the amount of compute that's being built or that needs to get built to handle all of this AI stuff that's happening in the world means that every component that goes into building this stuff is constrained. So if you can buy 24 new satellites, like maybe I don't know how many satellites you can launch in a month.
I see what you mean.
But let's just say it's one a month.
Yeah.
That's 2 years worth of satellite launches.
You just bought yourself.
And now they just bought 2 years worth of launch. Like, I don't know what it is, but I'm just surmising, right?
Yeah.
So the point is, if they want to get more capacity faster, And if they
That's-
trusted Globalstar, plus they have a ready-made customer in Apple, as you've said, it's
Yeah.
80% of their business.
which is like very stable income.
Yeah, I was
right?
going to say, it's very
Like,
simple because Apple's not going away.
Yeah.
Amazon's not going away.
Yeah.
And Apple does a ton of other work with them. And Amazon's not one of these like crazy-ass companies that's going to do nutty things.
No, yeah.
It's run by people that are sane and are considered,
Yep.
right, and that do moderate things. So
They are a well-established, well-run, well-organized company.
Exactly.
As we were talking about yes today, right? It's not the
Yeah.
case for every startup, but Amazon, Apple are companies like this, right?
right,
And if Amazon wants to launch, a plan to get internet or to get data directly on your phone, who has tons of phone? Apple, right?
right.
So it makes complete sense, right? That at some
Yeah,
point,
yeah.
guys, let's just work together where Amazon has the layer, has the infrastructure, has the will to build all of these things, which, Apple was doing it only to the extent of their 20% share into Globalstar, but they never announced they're going to do rockets. They never announced they're going to do satellites by themselves,
No,
right?
Never mentioned it.
So it made sense that Amazon Leo can take care of that part of the business, then
Right.
work with Apple to actually have huge coverage now.
I
all
won't
over
ask you the
world.
rhetorical question, but I just looked it up.
Tell
How many, I'm asking, Apple has 2.5 billion
What?
iOS devices in the wild.
This is huge.
As of active devices, as of January 26.
Okay, wow. So that counts like the MacBook, the Mac Minis.
Those are iOS devices.
Yeah, iOS devices, so everything.
Actually, no, that's all devices.
Okay.
Including iPhones, iPads, Macs, and other devices,
Okay.
watches, stuff like that.
2.5 billion.
Billion active. Get all of them are connected to the internet at some
Yeah,
level,
exactly.
right?
Yeah. And plus, like they already have feature like Find My, for example,
Yep.
that get connected to the satellite. Like
And they're already
even without
using
the
that
internet.
satellite for this service. So
Yep.
what are we doing?
So
right?
that's already working, right?
Yeah.
Like the network is already connected to each other, right? That's also like
Exactly.
when they launched what's the name of the AirTag, right? Like
Yeah, the AirTags.
The AirTags they connect through Bluetooth to an iPhone, and so that's how they know where they are.
Exactly.
So they are already using their extensive network of devices
Yep.
to know where another device is, basically,
Exactly.
right? And let's see how it goes, but this is a powerful competitor to Starlink. Like in case they go into that direction,
Right.
now you have the user base. Now you
And
have
also, like, do you want to deal, you know what I mean? Like,
So-
the management of Starlink is
so that was like
a
another
little bit volatile.
a little like
A little bit volatile.
piece of information
a little bit volatile.
as part of this story.
Yes.
Is that actually Apple reportedly declined in 2022 a proposal from Elon Musk to bring Starlink to the iPhone.
Ah.
And instead,
Directly. So the same way that Globalstar
yes.
wants
So
to do.
instead, Apple did that with Globalstar.
Mm.
So that's exactly to your point, right? Like they had the choice. They could work with Elon Musk. They could work with Starlink, and they said no. We are going to work with Globalstar, and now they are going to work with Amazon.
And it's not like the Starlink satellites don't work and aren't robust
Oh,
and
no,
stuff.
no.
It's just that,
I'm sure it's very amazing, no?
well, yeah.
We may buy one actually at some point.
So let's buy two.
Let's buy two.
We're not buying a satellite.
No, we buy
we buy the
Starlink.
connectivity.
Yeah, the Starlink
Let's not get
box
crazy.
just to have internet everywhere. That would be super.
Okay.
Perfect. We are done with this story, right? I don't think
I
there's
think so.
There's anything else.
But there's so much interesting stuff going on. Do you
Yep.
want to talk about WordPress?
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about WordPress, because the announcement itself, I would say, is important to know, but there's things to learn from there. So once again, if you have any question, please let us know in the comments.
But do you want
We'll be
to
happy.
say a little bit about WordPress? Like, it's open source.
Yes. So
And there's WordPress, the org, right?
Yeah.
The .org
Yeah,
part of
right,
it. Like, I think we should explain just a
So-
little bit of this to
Okay.
people so they can understand like why this really matters.
yeah, you're right.
And then how it works. Yeah.
So first of all, WordPress is an open source software. Okay, so what does it mean? Open source means you have access to the files. Okay, so you download them on your
The source
computer,
files.
the source files.
Yeah.
And then they are yours. So basically, all the code that have been built since the beginning of WordPress around 2005, every line of code that they have built, every feature that they have built, you have the exact same code on your machine. Okay, it's like open source, you have access to it. It's not protected, you don't have to pay for it. So all the hard work that they have done, you get it for free, basically. Okay, that's what open source means. And so how does the WordPress ecosystem work? You have this website builder that is very simple. That's WordPress. Okay, they just give you an interface to build your website and to manage it from like a nice backend, a nice user interface for you as the administrator of the
Right.
website to be able to create a new page, build a new blog article, add another admin to your website, and all of these things. So the core product of WordPress is just that, a website builder with an admin interface to be able to do stuff. Then,
and we use it for all of our stuff.
And we have tons of stuff that are hosted on WordPress on our side, exactly. So then, WordPress, how they grew and how they power like 50% of the internet.
43%.
Today.
I just looked it up. According to Gemini.
43%, which is huge.
Huge. This is huge. 43% of websites on the internet
are on WordPress.
Are WordPress.
So how does that happen? It's because WordPress has built a huge ecosystem of plugins and theme that comes and get plugged on your initial base WordPress to extend the functionality.
Yep.
So instead of building everything in the WordPress system, in the WordPress software itself, they just focus on making something very simple but that works really, really well. And then they let third-party people to build the plugin, to build the e-commerce functionality, to build the integration with Stripe, to build the subscription, to build the beautiful front end, to have
APIs, like a whole bunch of
APIs.
stuff.
They just let the community do it. And because people have really, really, picked up the idea, today you have, I think millions and millions of plugins that you can download, which made it a very, very powerful ecosystem, because whatever you want, there's very often...
Two more really important stats, just so people can understand the scope. 43% of all websites on the internet are run on WordPress. It's the most popular CMS, content management system globally, holding a commanding 62% share of the CMS market. 62%.
Oh.
Again, according to Gemini, WordPress is used by over 522 million websites, including many major brands.
Yeah, you have many. Like the Facebook blog is on WordPress. There's a very major news site in the US. I don't remember if it's CNN or CNBC. I mean, something like usual that.
Yeah, it could be ESPN or something like that.
Something
but
like
that
runs on WordPress as well. So it's not a tool for beginner only, right?
No.
There's people from your small mom and pop shop that use WordPress all the way to very, very large corporations.
So that's why I wanted to go through that, because I wanted people to understand that it's not niche.
No,
it's not small.
It's not niche. It's not small at all. And so that's really like the ecosystem of WordPress.
Yep.
Okay. So what happened? There's a guy whose name is Chris. I think
that's all we know.
So yeah, that's all that's public at the moment.
And he spells his name strangely as well.
Chris.
What's the K?
So what he did is he purchased 31 WordPress plugin. Okay. Mm-hmm. So like all the plugins that you can add, like same as the App Store. You have like ton of plugins and you just add them. And then
they must have been popular ones.
So that's why he bought them, right? Like he had a bad intent, right? Like his goal was to hack websites.
He came with bad intentions.
Like he came with bad intention. And so what he did is like he bought all of his plugin in when exactly? I have the date somewhere.
You do.
Sometime last year. Around 8 months ago, in August 2025. And then he did absolutely nothing for 8 months.
Just bought them and let them ride as is.
Okay. So
this guy has really bad intentions.
So then
that's terrible.
The way it works with WordPress, okay? You install your plugin. You have the feature that you want. It works.
Yeah.
Okay.
You kind of forget about it.
And then you completely forget about it. But more importantly, you trust the plugin. Because you bought
right. But talk about the update process.
So then, because you trust the plugin, when the plugin say, "Hey, we have a new update for you,"
you just do it.
You have like an update button on your WordPress dashboard. The same is exactly the same as the App Store. Okay? You add everything to the App Store, and so then you just press update. You get the new update on your WordPress website. Everything works. You are just fine.
And you don't think anything of it.
Especially if it's something that you've been using for 2 years or 5 years or for
whatever,
a long time, right? And so this is exactly what that guy, Chris, has targeted. He bought all of these plugins that were widely used, widely trusted by a lot of people who just click on the button update and that's fine, okay? And they don't think about it, so he bought really the trust actually into the plugin.
This is really devious. Go ahead.
He waited 8 months, and then in April, just a few days ago, he started to do an attack called SEO poisoning. So basically, just to make the long text story short, basically the goal is to hijack your Google rankings. So you know that when you search for best restaurant in Bangkok, you have the ads, and below that you have the organic results from SEO, right? Like, so if you optimize your website for search, you are going to be higher than the other guy, and that's what you want. That's at the end of the day going to drive your clients. And so he hijacked that with a method that allows him to not be detected. So he sends spams, links, redirect, fake pages, ton of crazy stuff that only the Google bot can see.
So he altered the plugins to do this for him.
He alters the core code of WordPress. He changed one file.
Right.
And during the update process, so people click on update in the plugin that they've been using for years, that they trust.
SEO is not something you can recover from in like a...
Exactly.
It takes years to build this up in some cases.
And so...
Why would he do this?
So he did that to probably get so much backlinks and to boost himself, maybe to promote scams and stuff like that. So that was on April 5th. On April 7th, WordPress banned all the 31 plugins. It's a ban, like they're all gone. And then they forced an update on April 8th to fix it, okay, on WordPress site themselves.
So they went through all the 30 plugins.
They found the
rogue code.
The rogue code, and then they said, okay, we are going to fix it, and then they fixed it for all the users that were affected by this attack through the plugin that they trust.
What are we doing?
So I think, to me, the story here, like the really interesting thing here, is how this guy Chris actually did the attack, because WordPress was what he attacked, right?
Yeah.
Open source is a feature of WordPress, but what really made all of this possible is not WordPress, it's not open source, is the trust that people had in the software that they use.
Right.
And that could happen with any software. If tomorrow somebody buy an app that you use every day on your phone, on your iPhone, and then start to change the code and do different things.
Yes, I think about this. Let's say you're using some app. So I have I have a podcast app on my phone.
Yep. So
I know who wrote it.
Yeah.
I know I don't know him personally, but I know him really well because I've been following his career forever.
Yeah.
Okay. He was he was the first developer hired at Tumblr.
Okay.
Okay. What's his name again? I can't remember. Anyway. Marco Arment.
Okay.
Okay, and he built a podcast app because he loves listening to podcasts. He has a big podcast in the States, and he didn't like any of the podcast apps that were out there. Okay. But let's just say he sells it, which he did not do. But this is what you're saying. If he sells it, the guy he has millions of users.
Exactly.
So then you could just do the same thing. Because you don't know who owns every app. Exactly. You don't even know if it changes hands.
And you have no idea. We never
You're not paying attention.
We are not paying attention to that at all, right?
No, zero.
And so that guy Chris took advantage of that. Of the trust and the user base.
So it's not just open source. It's any kind of
software.
Distributed software, right?
Exactly. For everything that we use on a daily basis, somebody should just buy it, change something, and then attack us through that path. Which I thought was a really interesting way to attack someone. Like, it's not something that I've seen before.
No, because in a way, it's not even that sophisticated.
It's simple, but at the same time smart.
Yeah,
right?
It's very smart. It's not like, we talk about this. They have these farms in, I don't want to say the country names, but we talked to the guy at Meta about this, right?
Yeah.
They have these huge warehouses filled with computers that go out and just do mean things, do all these attacks. That's not this. This is just like some guy going, let me fix some plugins.
Yeah, let me just fix some plugins. It's crazy. So that's why I think that the main reason how all of this happened was actually a very interesting thing to remember that cyber attacks could be everywhere.
Yeah,
could take any form, right? And this is just a reminder that the attacker can be super smart, right? And just find a new way to attack us that we are not ready for, and that can be at any time from any angle, right? So.
It's weird. I'm stopped feeling comfortable updating all of my software at all times. In the old days, I used to just be like, yeah, it's new, I'm going to update it kind of thing.
Yeah. And now you are double guessing yourself all the time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. So that's why I think this story is really interesting into how software can actually be attacked from within, which, that was the point.
Interesting. Be careful out there.
Be very careful.
Be very careful. Be diligent to be careful.
Let's go to our next story.
So Meta smart glasses, we mentioned this as our last topic at the
Yep.
top of the show. Meta smart glasses are bigger than you think. And it's a shame that we don't have like an audience that we can interact with directly, because I would ask them how much revenue you think they've earned from them.
Yeah. If you have any idea,
If you have
in the
any
chat,
idea, like put it in the chat,
Yeah.
because you're wrong.
how much revenue do you think Meta Smart Glass alone, not Meta's the entire business?
No,
just-
Meta smart glasses alone, because it's way bigger than you think. It's way bigger than I thought.
I was so surprised. So first of all,
But why did you even look into this?
Yeah, so why did we actually look into it? What is the news, right? So
Yeah, what's the news?
they dropped the price. Like they launched, the Meta Ray-Ban deal. I think that was last year, sometime last year.
Okay.
And they dropped the price actually pretty significantly from $299 to $224. Okay, so it's like 25% off. It's actually lower than the price that they offered during Black Friday.
Oh,
So
really?
it's like really, really, really low. But if it was just there, I would be like, okay, you know what, we just decrease the price. I don't think there was much of a story until I looked deeper into it. So first of all, some fact. Zuckerberg has said that people not wearing AI glasses in the future will be at a disadvantage.
He's wrong. I think it's going to be in reverse.
So that's how he think about it. Right?
I
He's
know.
really thinking
He's
about
not always right.
About like for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
he's also trying to sell his
Sure,
project,
sure.
right? So he has a
Yeah.
vested interest into.
But I'm here to
using
give an
it.
opinion, and I'm
Exactly.
telling you my opinion right off the top.
Exactly, right, directly. But so he
Remember,
thinks
he
that-
also decides to get his hair cut like that, so it's like maybe his decisions aren't all that good. But anyway, go ahead.
But so that's the way he think about it. He see that as something that actually gives you a bit advantage.
Right,
okay. Also, something interesting is that they are actually going into the market of people who have eye problem and they use glasses as a medical what's the proper way to say it?
Prescription glasses.
Prescription glasses,
Yeah.
right?
But you want to say what the number is?
So they say billions of people wear glasses for vision correction.
Yep.
And this is basically what they are going. This is where they are going with the Meta smart glasses. This is
So I
something that they wanna
would
do as well.
love to have access to information in my glasses.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, I don't really wear them that often because it's just
Yeah.
really for reading. I don't wear them in the real world.
Mhm.
I never wear them walking down the street, which is when they'd be probably
Yeah.
most useful.
Yeah.
But anyway, you should mention what the value of the business is.
So wait.
Oh, you're going to get there.
Before that, there's more.
More,
Actually.
there's more. Go.
There's
Okay,
more.
go.
Before we get that, there's more.
Shut up and let me talk.
So yeah, so they don't just want to do like what you said, like, right? Like film and also display images on the lenses. They also actually want to help you with vision correction, right? So now it becomes
So they want to build technology that does vision correction?
maybe or maybe like use these lenses that you have to actually do the smart thing as well.
So build
right?
it into those lenses
Yes,
as well.
maybe yes. They really want to do like everything together. And as Mark says, it's a huge market to also go in vision correction. And so for example, they report Meta and Luxottica. They report considering doubling production target to 20 million units per year. Up from around 10 million unit per year capacity by the end of 2026, showing big demand on the vision correction side of things.
So Luxottica's revenue, just so you know, Luxottica is the biggest maker of glasses in the world. They own
Okay.
every big brand that you've ever heard of.
Mhm.
They probably own Ray-Ban and all these other things, right? 28.5 billion euros.
Oh wow.
So almost $30 billion. Luxottica revenue. That's not associated with the glasses. This, the Google not Google glasses, so the Meta glasses.
Yep.
But just saying, like the glasses business globally is just huge.
It's huge.
So they want to double. So are you suggesting that they make 10 million of these a year now?
So by the end of 2026, they will have the capacity to make 10 million per year, which they say they consider to double it.
Wow.
Okay. Then they launched March 31st, so like 2 weeks ago. They launched actually the Meta Ray-Ban glasses designed for prescription wearers.
So they already launched
so
them.
they already launched it.
Wow.
And they support nearly all prescriptions today already. So that's like what has been going on. Now the number that I was not ready for.
Shut up, Michael. Let me get to the details first.
In 2025, Meta sold over 7 million Ray-Ban smart glasses in 2025 alone, which is more than triple the sales of the year before.
That's insane.
So they triple the size in 2025. They plan to double capacity. Like the growth seems to be insane, right? Like the demand seems to be absolutely crazy.
Have
Also,
you seen anybody wearing these glasses?
I've never seen anyone.
I've never even heard of anybody buying
But also,
them.
we don't see much marketing. We don't see the product itself
No.
anywhere. It's crazy that these numbers
How would
are
we even know? Because they're Ray-Bans. They're mostly Ray-Bans now.
Yeah.
Yes, there's sunglasses.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you can see like the little dot on the side,
Can
right?
you?
Like that with the camera. Like,
I don't know.
We can see the picture on screen. Like
Yeah.
now I'm showing, and yeah, there's a little dot for the camera. But what I find, so they sold 7 million last year, triple the sales from 2024, and in 2025, the estimated revenue of these glasses, $2.15 billion.
2.1?
2.15 billion.
2.15.
Yeah, $2.15 billion.
I
in
never would
1
have
year
guessed even close to that.
for just these glasses.
I wouldn't have even guessed. 7 million is just an insane number. I would have guessed in the hundreds of thousands. I didn't even know they were making
Yeah.
that many of these.
It's crazy, right? They are selling many of these materials. Just not making. It's
Most
like
of it's
they are
got to be.
selling.
Most of it's got to be in the United States.
It must be, right?
Yeah.
It must be. So it's already a business that generates $2 billion per year, which is more than the Quest headsets.
For
You
sure.
remember that they bought it like for like a lot of money back in 2014, 2015,
Something
right?
like
Like it's
that.
like a 10-year-old product.
Don't get me started on Meta. Yeah.
Like all the VR stuff, like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not just the metaverse, there's also all the games and then all the work, like the Apple Vision Pro wanted to bring as well. Like these glasses are already like a bigger business than.
There are rumors
that.
that Apple's making their own glasses. That wouldn't surprise me if they announced them next year or something like that.
Yes,
Right.
I think they said like they are planning maybe for 2026 or something.
I'm just
like
trying to think about
2027,
have
sorry.
you ever tried the Vision Pro stuff?
I never tried.
Neither have I.
No.
I don't like this Minority Report style. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's going to make a lot of people really dizzy. Anyway.
Yep. I didn't try, so I can't tell you. But yeah, I wasn't expected Meta glasses to be that big. I'm
What's
very
your view,
surprised.
though?
Sorry?
What's your view on glasses with technology in them?
I'd love to try to really see what's the value, right?
Same.
I don't like the privacy aspect of that.
Neither do I.
Both on the recipient, that if you have glasses that film me, I don't like it, and at
No.
the same time, I don't want to film you. Right?
No, I don't want to do it either.
So maybe if we don't really need it, I like the idea of maybe having a screen that can help with something. So maybe we just remove the camera, keep the smart screen, do the smart lenses, and then do the correction at the same time, and maybe that can be cool. Maybe we don't need
I think
the
there's a
camera.
way to implement this without all the privacy concerns.
Maybe-
Like, I don't know why you have to have a camera on it.
Just
Because
get
you
the
have a camera on
out.
your phone, right?
Yeah, and you don't. walk
And
like
you
this.
never walk around like this. And if you do, I punch you.
I mean, sometimes some people do, right?
Yeah.
And that's really annoying. That's something that we really don't like,
But nobody likes it.
and nobody likes it.
And what we learned when Google launched the Google Glasses 100 years ago
Yeah.
is that it was just bar fighting all the time.
Yeah, and you see that this is really like a timing play as well, right? Like, because Google was first. Snapchat is also launching their
own glasses as well, yeah.
their own glasses. That they are not alone in this market.
No.
But I think I have the number somewhere. I found somewhere on one of the sources that they actually have 70% of the market share, Meta,
Wow.
for these glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are the leader. They are the number one. I can't believe it's already making $2 billion per year. Huge. When you think about that, just the AI that we are talking about so much. Like, it's a new product without any AI. That's a new category that they are creating. Maybe it would be linked to AI somehow,
Yep.
but it's a new thing, right?
I'm sure it's going to be linked to AI.
And
I mean,
it's
just
an-
think about the possibilities.
Yeah. Imagine if they start putting ads. That would be horrible.
I'm sure they will. It's a dystopian,
Yeah.
ad-filled future.
That would be horrible.
That's terrible.
But yeah, but I really want to try it because I'm. Actually, you remember that we tried the MSI glasses at the event in Bangkok like 2 years ago. That you plugged into your computer and then you can see the screen of your computer. That was
We did
pretty
that. I
nice.
remember.
Yeah, the MSI glasses.
I remember.
It was pretty nice. There were no cameras. It was just like a display.
Yeah,
right?
just
Like,
displays.
just a way to see your computer screen.
I don't like having my eyes covered and not being able to see the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes me uncomfortable. Anyway, interesting.
Very interesting. That's why we wanted to share that with you. Once again, if you have any question or comments,
Please let us know. If you have a pair.
So actually, we have a question, Michael. Is the launch of Claude Opus 4.7 happening today? My Claude does not work all morning. So where are you based, first of all? Super trooper.
Oh, wait. So he wants to know if Cloud 4.7 is going to launch
Yeah.
today because the Claude he's using
Yes.
isn't working.
Yeah. So that's why I'm asking, like, where are you based? Because just before we start the live, I tried mine.
I was going to
and
say,
it
yours
was
didn't work
also
either.
not working as well. So for us, it's nighttime. So when you say all your morning, are you based in the US, which means it would be the same time, and then
Right.
we have exact same experience,
Right.
which actually would be very interesting. Like we don't have a news, right? Like, I mean,
But does that mean they disable it?
we've been live for an hour and a half, so maybe they just launch it and we don't know. My God, let's change. But no, I don't think there's any news that they have
There's
launched
nothing
it
new
in
right
the last
now.
hour. But you are in Utah, United States. Okay, so yeah, I think we have the exact same experience. My Claude was also dead just before we start the live.
But does that mean they disable 4.6 before they release 4.7?
Let me try to send a message right now. Let's try live. But the timing is weird. The timing is weird.
definitely real. But I'm looking at the news
Yeah.
right now, and it says it's reportedly dropping this week, and
Yeah.
there's nothing new that says it's actually been released.
Okay. So my Claude is back. Super trooper. I don't know if yours is working right now, but mine is back to life. So it's been offline maybe an hour. Once again, we have been live for an hour and a half now, so I haven't tried. But the timing is weird. And like, if you go back to the beginning of the show, to what we were saying at the beginning, where 4.7 was feeling like a fix to 4.6.
6, yeah. So maybe that is why they're disabling
Maybe
it.
maybe that's what they are doing right now. Maybe they are like just trying to as fast as they can, to just like get.
But is
get
there
it
a
out.
CDN impact of this as well? Do you know what I mean? Like if he's in Utah, it may be the case that the CDN that serves him all this stuff is different than the CDN that's serving you yours.
That's possible.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's definitely possible because we are based in Thailand, so we are pretty far from each other.
Right.
So we must be served from different regions. So which means if you have a problem in Utah and we have a problem in Thailand,
Right.
it means it's a big problem.
Something's going on.
right? Like because now you're right, like the CDN is going to serve us from different
But it
regions.
would be pretty cool if we talked about it today and then it was launched today.
Yeah. So let's see. Maybe it's going to be launched, Michael, in the next few minutes, and we are going to see it live.
Do you have the gentleman's name?
Sorry.
Do you have the gentleman's
So I
first
just
name?
have his YouTube.
His YouTube thing?
Pseudo.
Well, thanks for the question.
But yeah, thank you very much for the question. And so does Claude work for you right now? Like, is it back to life? Because mine is working. So I hope it's the same for you. And let's see, so just like maybe if you missed the beginning of the show, right now Claude 4.7 is just a rumor, right? It's like it's just an information that is not confirmed. It's not something that Anthropic has publicly announced that they are launching it today.
Yep.
But as we were saying at the beginning of the show, it may be a very quick fix to 4.6 because of all the backlash, that the community raised around is Opus 4.6 becoming more stupid.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And
Right.
I guess you had the same experience as we all did, right?
Yeah.
Where things started.
It's so
to be-
stupid it went to sleep. Like it
yeah.
shut down.
When things started to be a little bit harder to do, let's say, right? And so actually that segues perfectly towards the next question.
DMA stuff, right.
That we wanted to
answer, yeah.
to answer, which was another question from a member of the community who asked, so we did this short, is Claude Opus getting dumber?
Yeah.
Right? So that was exactly the topic, and then it's explaining where that comes from and the feeling that we all have that we don't really have much proof of that, I would say, right? There's like no two use cases that were working before and not working anymore right now, so it's hard to be sure. But we all feel like it's getting much harder. And so we did this short, published it on our YouTube channel, and Kevin Rock 8293 wrote to us, it's happening to me as well after 3 days of subscribing to Pro. It started really good, but now it feels really dumb, doing the same mistake over and over. Even if I start a new chat, the only thing that I've been doing is installing skills. Do you guys think that flooding Claude with skills makes this tool wonder when resolving given tasks? I would say that's a possibility. From my own experience, and so that's why I wanted to bring that up on the show, is that Okay, so I'm super happy that it works for you. Super good.
It's back.
Yeah, it's back for
That's great.
For
Great. Thanks for letting us know.
Yeah, thanks for letting us know. But so yeah, so from my own experience, so I was a OpenClaw user before, and I was using the Claude CLI through OpenClaw. So when Anthropic said, okay, we don't support OpenClaw anymore on the subscription plan, which I was using, I had to switch to something. I didn't want to go to GPT today because I really like Opus, and I think it's doing a good work.
I mean, everybody says it's better.
And everybody's tend to agree that it's a really good model for agency. And to be honest, I tried Coders as well at the beginning of OpenClaw, and I just preferred Opus. It was able to do more stuff for me.
Yep.
And so when I switched from OpenClaw to Claude Code first, that was the first thing I did. And then I was like, actually, I'm gonna build my own OpenClaw. So I built my own agents. Okay. All of a sudden, everything went back to normal. Like,
it went back to normal.
Went back to how it was 2 months ago.
But were you always using Claude Code with orchestration or no?
So in the phase in between, so I had the first orchestration layer with OpenClaw.
Yeah.
Then I had Claude Code as the orchestration layer, and then no orchestration layer at all because I was using directly through the CLI with no wrap up on top of that. And then I say, okay, now I'm going to use my own agent and basically build my own version of OpenClaw. Everything went back to normal, working super well.
So maybe it was an
fast.
OpenClaw problem.
So that's the first possibility, right? The second thing that I've seen as well is that the token usage has reduced like crazy.
Right.
But like,
so that makes more sense to me though.
But like 4 to 5 times, Michael.
But that makes sense.
But like 4 to 5 times. It's insane.
But what they're trying to do, look, this is just like everything else, right? They're trying to incentivize you to use as many tokens as possible because that's how they get paid.
That's how we get paid.
So if you go directly to it, there's no way to trick you into using, I don't want to say trick, but there's no way to incentivize you to use more tokens than you need because you can regulate that yourself.
Yeah.
And I think part of the problem with OpenClaw itself is that it was an open source product run by one guy who at some point was probably massively overwhelmed, didn't optimize it for token usage, but then so many people started using it because you heard about it and that guy heard about it and this lady heard it and everyone was using it and that thing never got fixed.
Yes.
So the fact that you're doing it alone and your token usage goes way down.
It's like way down.
But it makes ultimate sense because you as the guy who's paying for the tokens is saying, I want to use as few tokens as possible.
Yeah, for sure.
So you're thinking before you're doing stuff, right?
For sure. But so then like just to explain people like what technically happens, right? Like why does the token is actually so much lower and doing the same thing, right? Like doing the same type of work, doing the same type of things. Also, just before I explain to you why and how that works, a friend of mine did an experiment, pretty much the same thing using Claude through the CLI, so no wrapper around that, and using Claude through Cursor. So you know like the coding app. He told me doing the same task, the exact same thing on Cursor costed 2.7 times more tokens. 2.7 times.
Yeah, so Cursor probably gets a vig on how much token they use.
So I think what's happening here is that all of these platforms, OpenClaw, Claude Code, Hermes, Paperclip, like all the orchestrators that are out there, that they are adding stuff around your prompt called the system prompt.
Right.
Okay, so that's why OpenClaw is because on top of the message that you send, like there is system prompt in the code that get added to your prompt and that explain to the LLM like how it should behave and how it should answer. So you will put things into this system prompt like be helpful, ask if you don't know, be nice, make joke. Then also like all the memory system that OpenClaw is doing is also part of a system prompt. So for example, things like at the end of each message, write a summary into this file that we are going to call the memory. And so all of this extra information is tokens.
Massively overusing tokens.
Massively overusing.
I read a whole thing about this today, by the way, on Twitter.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so that's all this extra system prompt that the orchestrator that you use adds to be the orchestrator for you, basically.
Right.
That costs you tons of money, right? And so to answer Kevin's question, it also costs money, but it also costs context.
Right.
Because the more information the LLM has, then the least is going to perform, right? Like if you ask him 10 things, he might forget things number 3 or 4.
But this is true for humans as well, right?
And so that's like a very interesting experiment that we can share.
Right.
With
So if I asked you 10 questions right now, you'd probably get 7 of them right, but the other 3 you'd be like, ask me the question again.
Yes,
and I'm not saying that the LLM is missing the questions, but it's just like the more information it has, again, because it's probabilistic, it's just less likely to be able to get all this stuff right.
And this is and so if in your system prompt you already have 3 or 4 instructions, then if the LLM can do 6, for
there's
example,
leakage.
then you can only add 2 basically.
Yeah, there's just leakage.
Right. And so this is really what's happening. So that's why, like, when you use the skills, when you use the orchestrator, when you use,
so the more stuff you add into it,
because like let's say like the LLM can only do 6 tasks,
whatever it is,
right? If you have 4 that are already into your system prompt, then you can only do 2, but you don't know that. So when you ask 4, there is 2 that are just gone, but you don't know why.
But also remember, one of the first stories that we talked about today was the redesign of the Claude desktop, and that it can run multiple windows.
Yeah.
So stuff that wasn't considered when it was first written.
Yeah.
So imagine that maybe the way they've designed its access to context and all this other stuff, maybe it does get confused the more stuff you give it.
Oh, for sure.
Because when they first designed it, remember we talked about this yesterday, when OpenAI first put out the first LLM, they were like, I wonder how people are going to use this.
For sure,
right?
For sure. I think that they had no idea.
Right. So, but it also means that it impacts the way it gets designed as well.
For sure. Yeah, that's true. So
right. So you have to, and again, you have to go all the way back to the beginning of the computing age. I think it was Steve Jobs or it was Bill Gates who said no one's ever going to need more memory than 64K. Because you can't conceptualize like how big and how strong it's going to get. And now like you can't have enough memory.
Yep.
Right.
But so that's why like all of these things like are like also like something that I can share with you, like to add to this question was, since I went to my own orchestrator, so basically what it means, like I now control the system prompt. I put whatever I want.
Yeah.
So which means, because I know that
you're not adding anything extra in.
So which means I don't add anything extra in that I don't need, right? Like for example, OpenClaw, they had like all of these things to be funny and to be an assistant and all of that. I don't do any of that. I just want my agent to be able to do what I need, right?
Right.
So all of these things now I control because that's my own orchestrator. And to be frank, guys, it was very simple to build something like OpenClaw. I'm not a developer. I don't know how to code, and I've been able to do it. So I would say, if you want to spend less, if you want to have much more control on your stuff,
this is reverse advertising, by the way.
Just have a look at how you can build your own orchestrator. It's much easier than it looks.
Yeah.
But so the next thing that I've realized is that now that I have my system prompt that I control, so I keep super short, right? Just the essential. I've been able to do much longer chats with the AI. Before I was doing 3, 4, 5 messages, and then I was scared that the context would explode.
Right.
And so then, as you just said, now the memory is too big, and now we have to restart a new chat.
Right.
But because my context now is much smaller,
which you're controlling,
which I control.
Right.
Now I don't care anymore, which is crazy to me. We to the Martin I was a month ago.
Right.
We were constantly very
that guy
trying
had no idea
to do 3-4 messages and then restart because the content was too big.
Right.
Now sometimes I spend entire days just working on one thing in just one chat.
Yeah.
And when I check my total usage, super low. I'm super surprised. Really, I'm like, I have no idea what's happening.
Because there's no incentive for you to build something that actually overuses token.
Yeah.
You're not
exactly.
token maxing at all.
No, for sure. No, that's the opposite for me, because I pay for it.
Yeah, you're token minimizing.
But so that's why I was really surprised by all of this finding, I would say. And so that's why I would say, before you use an orchestrator, really try to see if you cannot just do it yourself. It's not that hard, and I've really been able to fix a lot of the problem with Opus, the tokens, just by building my own things.
Super.
So, and once again, thank you very much for the question, guys. If you have any other question and you want to talk about
anything,
Claude AI, if you have any question about AI or agentic AI, feel free to put them in the chat. We love to discuss with you. We have another question, Michael.
Go ahead.
Claude is down. What's the best place to get Anthropic updates? Is it on X?
So Claude is down again.
So Claude is down again. Actually,
you said down, yeah?
Yeah. We had actually the test a little bit earlier. It was working a few minutes ago. Is it working now? Let me check. Hello. Let me test Claude right now. But what's the best place to get?
It says they're down.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay, that's really crazy.
Claude status. Elevated errors on Claude AI. Cloud platform are down. Login for Cloud Code does not work via Claude AI.
And you said that's in the US?
So it was down at 801 and then it fully recovered.
Okay. And it's
The
done
issue has
again.
been identified and a fix is being implemented. That now it's fully recovered and now it's down again.
And where do you find this information? Because
Status.claude.com.
okay, so you found it on status.close.co. Let me write that in the chat so you have the link. So this is where you can see. For me, it works. We are in Thailand, we're in
So
Asia.
there may be a CDN
As you
thing,
just said, yes, I think, as you mentioned before, I think you're totally right. We must be served by different region. And so that's why it can work for me on the other side of the world and not for you in the valley. But also, like, if you want information about Anthropic, I would say X is good, Reddit is kinda better. I very like the subreddit /Anthropic because people say really what they think.
Exactly.
And I mean, Twitter and X and Reddit, you're gonna find very similar information. And so if you follow both, you can really see like a lot of point of views, I would say, right? And then you can see, like, okay, this thing must be big because everybody on the two platforms told about it. For example, the Claude Code becoming more stupid. Opus becoming more stupid story was really, really big both on Reddit and on X. So if you follow both,
it just shows you how many people are using it. Like,
yeah.
people aren't mad for no reason. They're
Yeah.
not just rage baiting this thing. It's like I was in the middle of using this
Yeah.
thing and I have to, like, I owe somebody some code
Exactly.
and I can't use it now.
This is the massive problem we are creating for ourselves.
Right,
Like
because once you get to this automation level, because it wasn't like this before.
Yeah, like
And by before I mean 17 minutes ago.
exactly. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
I mean, I feel, Michael, you've been through that again with all the algorithmic trading and all of these things, right? Like,
Yeah.
when you don't have tech, you do that amount of work. When you have tech, you do that amount of work.
But also when you're not using tech and there's a problem,
Yeah.
because I had this happen, and
Yeah.
you're doing this amount of work, it's relatively, I said, easy to fix.
Yeah,
But if you're doing automated trading and you're doing this much work
Yeah.
and it goes down,
then you have a massive problem.
you have a huge problem now.
Huge problem. And now
But you don't have, you have to solve it
you have to solve it. You have no choice. And now we are in the exact same situation.
with coding.
Because 2 months ago, we were doing that amount of work.
Right.
Then agentic AI came, now we're doing that amount of
Right.
work. And so when Anthropic is down, like for
And
example,
remember,
right now,
one of the thoughts we had, and it's not just our thought, but one of the theses that we had was that, like, well, now you can write software so much more efficiently and so much faster. So places where you wouldn't have softwareized something,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
like, I can write software for that.
Yeah.
But now if it goes down and it's not, you know what I mean? It's just going to be harder to do.
Yep. So Rob shared with us his trade were supposed to run this morning, but everything is done.
What was supposed to run?
His trades.
Oh, no.
So you are using Claude for trading,
He probably wrote a system to do trading
and you can do that.
for automated trading. So probably
automated
getting
trading.
real-time information from the market somehow, and then using it to make some trading decisions, then sending those orders to the market.
That's
Because maybe like, what's the trade thing you use?
For trading?
Yeah,
You mean the
the platform you use. What's the broker? Interactive. So maybe Interactive has an API.
Yeah. Okay. He says yes. He says correct. Yes. Various API. Might actually give us some of your background because that's super relevant to the discussion here.
Yeah, I mean, I should just say, so I did work at Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs for 20-something years, and I did sit on an automated trading desk and on a portfolio trading desk. So, and I also ran a full platform of automated trading across multiple products. So yeah, we did that. Said a signal-based model,
Okay.
historical models and stuff like that. Yeah.
So Rob.
So I understand this stuff.
Super. So Rob used the Alpaca platform.
Alpaca platform. Yeah, it's relatively newer. It wasn't as robust as when I was trading.
Okay.
I haven't sat on a trading desk in 15 years.
Okay. Yeah, it's been a while.
But functionally, I understand how it works. I just don't know the exact
And
platform.
plus, like, you went through the whole revolution of all the computer. All
So
the
when I
internet,
first started trading, there was no electronic trading.
That's
The
crazy.
electronic trading actually started at on the Japanese stock market. Well, that's not true. There was dot and super dot in the United States, but
Okay.
it wasn't as prevalent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is really cool that you've been through that, because that's one of the things that we talk a lot on
Because it's
on the
analogous
show,
to
right?
everything that's happening
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now. I don't bring it up to say like cooler than everybody. I just bring it up to say, like, I saw this transition.
Yep.
And the same thing that we were doing back then, it's not exactly the same, but it rhymes.
Yep,
and because that rhyming means that I can understand a lot of the stuff that's going on in markets, in places that I shouldn't even know anything about, because it's very similar to what we were doing.
Yep.
Back then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Super good. So Rob tell us he's still testing to see how that works, but now he's on paper money for now.
Okay.
So testing. But yeah, that's good. I mean, that's the best way.
He's paper trading.
Yeah, just
Super.
paper money for now. But yeah, but
it's better
cool.
when you're testing. It's better to paper trade, not using like real money from your grandma.
It is definitely indeed better. So I hope Claude come back to you guys as soon as possible. And it's weird, like really, that it's done right now. Claude Opus 4.7 was like leaked. It's like Anthropic really do.
You think it's gonna come out today? It's Wednesday. Is that a day that you would release software? It's probably not a Friday.
If it's a band-aid, if it's a real problem, like if it's a compute problem, a capacity problem with 4.6, which cost them tens of millions, hundreds of millions.
Sure.
They're gonna do it fast.
Yeah, but you have to think about it. You don't want to do it on a Monday morning because so much stuff can break. You don't want to do it on a Friday afternoon because now it's the weekend. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Wednesday is probably the perfect day to do it. I'm not suggesting it's going to be done today, but it wouldn't surprise me.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
So we just have like three days to see how it goes.
Yeah.
For maybe we Saturday. But so yeah, no, super good. So let's see how it goes.
Thanks for the questions.
Yeah, thank you very much for the question. We did like an entire segment at the beginning of the live. So if you miss it, you can just go back after and see like all the information that we shared on the Opus 4.7. Rob tell us regarding trading, firms were doing it behind the scenes forever. Now all retail traders around here are doing it to build strategies.
Yeah, exactly.
So far, very good at giving direction.
Yep.
But to automate, they are still watching.
Yeah.
So
makes
sense. Makes sense. So it must be like, I mean, the guys at Goldman Sachs right now, like their job must be like changing again, right? Like it must be pretty insane.
We started doing automated trading in 1994.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, 1994.
We wrote Perl scripts to cut trades into smaller pieces and then send them down to the exchange.
Okay.
By getting real-time market data. But it was really interesting. But that was just the beginning.
Okay.
And I sat on the trading desk that actually kind of invented this kind of automated trading, at least in the stock market, not in
So maybe we do a special episode one day about like
trading,
the tech evolution.
Oh my god!
It
could be like a 6 hour.
Actually, it would be super interesting to.
Could be a 6 hour 3-part series.
Yeah, it was super interesting one day to have a guest that have your job that you had 15 years ago right now.
Yeah.
Right, like and to explain to us like what they are going through in AI. That would be super interesting.
We built a lot of really interesting stuff. Yeah. Anyway.
Super cool. So we've been live for an hour and a half talking about the news. That's what we do every day. We cover the most.
Tell your friends if you enjoyed the show, and frankly, if you enjoyed the interactions, come back again tomorrow. We'll be back at the same time. Tell your friends to come in and ask questions as well. We're super happy to sit here and answer them.
Yep. 11 a.m. Eastern time. Every weekday. Every weekday.
Yeah.
We first tell you about like all the major news that you may have missed. Yep. And so we talk about that, and then we have a community chat as we did.
We're unconflicted as well, so we're never going to get sold to like a big company that tells us what we can and cannot talk about.
That's very funny.
Anyway, are we done?
Perfect. I think we do. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming, for joining us, and hope to see you tomorrow again. And in the meantime, like you can watch the replay of the live. And if you have any question, if you have anything that you want to share with us, we can include them in the show of tomorrow. So
and give us a thumbs up on the video as well. It helps in the algorithm. Subscribe to our channel if you're not already subscribed. Follow us on all our socials. You can follow us on X, on Instagram, and on LinkedIn. We will be back again tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. My name is Michael Waits. That is Martin Runford. Bye for now. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Really.
Bye-bye.